Inspiration is great, but if you're always waiting on it, your art will be sporadic at best and non-existent at worst. Welcome to the Healthy, Wealthy, Wise Artist podcast, where artists of all kinds come to fuel their passion, sharpen their skills, and thrive in their creative lives. I'm your host, Lara Bianca-Pilcher, life and creativity coach and fellow artist, here to support you on your artistic journey. Whether you're a performer, writer, visual artist, or any kind of artist, this is the space for real talk, practical advice, and inspiring stories. Subscribe and join us each week for more inspiration and actionable insights to fuel your artistry. Let's dive in and get inspired. Welcome back to the Healthy, Wealthy, Wise Artist podcast, the show for dancers, actors, singers, writers, visual artists, and every kind of creative who wants to thrive, not just survive, on the artistic path. I'm Lara Bianca-Pilcher, life and creativity coach, artist, and someone who's learned the hard way that how we structure our days matters more than most of us want to admit. So in this episode, we're talking about something that doesn't sound glamorous, but might just be the missing piece: daily routines. Or in my case, even weekly routines, the things that I have to get done in order to keep my creative priorities the main thing. Not rigid schedules, but intentional rhythms that support your creative output, protect your energy, and help you keep going even when inspiration's missing in action, or MIA. So this first part, I want to talk about the pain point, the artist versus the structure battle. Now, some of you, I don't want to put you in a box. Maybe you love structure. There are those personality types that are also artists, absolutely. Majority of us would say as artists that we tend to not be so good with the structure part. Many artists resist routine. I get it. I have been one of those artists for most of my life. Not anymore. Here's why. You've been told to go with the flow, wait for the spark, don't box yourself in. But the thing is, without some kind of structure, we drift. We procrastinate, we numb out, we start projects and never finish them, or we just fall into complete overwhelm because everything just feels blurry and lacks clarity. And one coaching client, a brilliant singer-songwriter, told me that she hated the idea of routines because it felt too corporate, and she'd left that life behind in order to pursue life as an artist because she didn't want that life. But when we reframed it as creating a ritual to support her creativity, everything changed for her. Now she starts each day with a 20-minute creative block, not for results, just to reconnect. It could be just writing anything to just reconnect with yourself and hear your own thoughts. That simple shift, total game changer. So let's talk about what the research and real life say about routines. This is where we get into what actually works and why. So number one, anchoring your day with a creative cue. Our brains just love cues, and starting your creative time with the same signal each day trains your brain to shift into focused mode faster. Here's something you can try. Light a candle before you begin writing, put on the same playlist each time you warm up, sit in the same chair, same coffee, same time. It's not boring. It's called anchoring, and it's something that I personally do. I have a spot in the lounge room with a view out the window that I love. I have my coffee there and I start my day in the same way, and it just anchors me into that place where I set myself up well for the day. I mentioned earlier that I now have these goals and intentions for my week, and I changed this more recently when I felt overwhelmed. I did a bit of an audit on what was going on in my creative life and looked at what my priorities are, and I wrote down this beautiful statement, declaration is another way to express it, that I say at the beginning of each day. And it's got things on there like, I don't need to shout. I just need to do a simple post or show up in some way in the world. And that acting is very important to me. Writing is very important to me. Those are my priorities. I'm going to give them no space. Things like I care about my body. I will do these things through the week, which for me is like a dance class or 3 weight workouts and a walk and things like that. And these things are those foundational things that keep me happy. Now, there's millions of things that come along. Today was one of those days where things felt completely hijacked because I found what I've come to understand is carpenter ants floating around the basement of my new place. Because we live next to a forest, we're bound to get some things like that. And I was like, okay, I have to change strategies and deal with this problem. And some of my time got hijacked because that is urgent, my friends. When you've got kids, that is urgent. So I was cleaning and scrubbing and changing. But the things that we do still should be written down, those important things that matter to us so very deeply. So that was all about anchoring your day with a creative cue, making sure that you know what's important to you because your brain loves cues. Number 2, tiny creative rituals beat massive ambitions. Oh my goodness, I've been such an ambitious person. And this is what I've come to understand. Waiting for a big block of time, you'll probably keep waiting. Instead, make creativity bite-sized. Actually, my niece this week in Australia, who's a visual artist, sent me the funniest meme, and it said, I just feel like a failure if I don't achieve a milestone of human creativity in the 15 minutes I have to myself each day. And we both had to chuckle because we're both mums and we're like, yeah, that's real. But if you're waiting for a big block of time, you'll probably keep waiting. Instead, making creativity bite-sized is more important. So you could try this: 15-minute sketching before bed, 1 dance improv during your lunch break, a single paragraph or vocal warm-up with your morning coffee or tea. Consistency over intensity when it comes to sustaining creativity. So consistency is more important than that time and that intensity. It's just, even if it's little, that matters. It's really important. So number 2 was tiny creative rituals beat massive ambitions. Okay, number 3, the daily body and brain reset. Creative work pulls from your nervous system. If you're constantly overstimulated or depleted, your ideas will stall, even if you do have the time. That's why some of us are more productive than others. And I remember years ago, I don't think I'd say it now, but years ago, I'm like, if you want to get something done, ask a busy person. Because sometimes it's like the people doing a lot. I remember I could do so much. And if someone else gave me something else, I'd be like, yep, I'll get that done. That's not a problem. Because I was focused and I was pulling from a nervous system that was getting what it needed, it to not be overstimulated. But if you are constantly in a place where you're just overwhelmed, no matter how much time you have, you will find it hard to create because it's that nervous system fueling your creativity, whether it's in a place of overstimulation and depletion or peace and tranquility. Now, we're going to come in and out of these places. That's a human condition. But there are things you can do. So try this. A 10-minute walk, ideally without your phone. A breathing or stretch break mid-afternoon. Beautiful thing. It can be so short, but just that little bit of intention can calm you down. A no-screen wind down after your final creative task. These small habits don't just make you more productive. They can help you actually want to create. And I mean, sometimes I have so much motivation and I'll just be like, right, I'm just creating this, and this. And That little bit of structure is fantastic. I often write down what I want to create and kind of fire away at it. And other days, I honestly just don't feel like I have any creative energy at all. So it is going to ebb and flow. But when you recognize that there are little things you can do to hack the system, you would want to do it. So just calming yourself down, breathing, stretching. Sometimes I, get up in the morning and I'm like, okay, it's a workout day today. I really don't feel like it. But I know at some point in the day, this is what I call my flexible routine, that I have the structure, but I have the flexibility as to when it happens in the day sometimes. For example, morning before I go to work, or afternoon. And yes, work for me is full-time artist. So whether that's writing or creating or doing acting or self-taping or coaching clients, I've got the morning or the afternoon later after my kids are home from school to do that workout. So there's that flexible routine as long as I get it done. But these small habits don't just make you more productive. They help you actually want to create. And I find that, I ebb and flow. So daily body and brain reset was number 3. All right. If your routines feel non-existent or you're stuck in busy work with real progress and just obsolete, not happening for you, download my free guide, Stuck in a Creative Rut, and it walks you through 3 real life shifts to reignite your creative rhythm without the burnout. And you can get that at laurabiancapilcher.com. And if you go to .com/freebie, which you can find at the same site, laurabiancapilcher.com, there's 3 different downloads you can get for free if you haven't got those already. Just my gift to you. All right. The last part of this episode is reframing routine as creative freedom. Reframing is a coaching term for changing the way that we see something in our mind, and it's actually very, very powerful because sometimes it can unlock a different way of seeing it that actually liberates you out of being stuck. So here's what I want to leave you with. Routines are not the enemy of creativity, as so many of us have been told or come to believe ourselves, subconsciously, unconsciously. They're the foundation for it. Your art deserves consistency, and so do you. It needs to be this non-negotiable. This is what is valuable. This matters to me. And you don't need a perfect schedule. You need reliable rhythms that support the kind of artist and human that you want to be. I had put on my threads this week that making art isn't indulgent. It's survival. Your creativity regulates your emotions, supports your identity, processes your pain, boosts dopamine, and reduces anxiety. And when you suppress it, you suppress your voice. This isn't a luxury. It's nervous system care. That's a complete reframe on what so many of us have been told about creativity. So you don't need a perfect schedule. You need reliable rhythms that support the kind of artist and human that you want to be. So Creative Spark Challenge for the week. Try one of these. Choose a cue, whether it's a song, a coffee, a candle, and use it to start your next creative session. You can shift your mental state, emotional state, all those things more than you realize, actually. A song can do that for you. So if you're not feeling it, choose some sort of cue to anchor you in to get you started. Schedule 15 minutes a day for unproductive creativity. No goal, just play. Give yourself permission to fail if you need to. Completely fine in the name of creativity and play and experimentation. I don't even know if I'd call it failure, but just to let it be messy. And another one is add one simple body-mind reset to your daily rhythm, like a phone-free walk, or even a weekly rhythm there if you can't do it every day or don't want to do it every day. These small moves aren't just about efficiency. They're about staying connected to the reason that you started creating in the first place. And sometimes life and the way that the world's been these last few years can make it feel like, do I really want to do this anymore? I sometimes feel that too, and I'll unpack that late at night with my husband and then be like, I desperately want to do this. the art that I love, I want to do it. All the faff around it, all of the stuff and the rejections and the pain and the disappointments, and no, I don't want to do that. None of us want to do that. That's not what we signed up for. We want to do the art. So if you've been floating through your days, waiting for motivation, know this. You don't have to rely on willpower alone. You can build a rhythm that supports your energy, your creativity, and your art, no matter what's going on in this messy world. For those of you who tune in every week, I thank you. You would have seen, if you follow me on Instagram this week, that I said, my book cover front and back was emailed to me, which was so real, from my London publisher. I'm really excited to get this book. It's for artists. It's a framework that helps artists. And I'm so excited to get it into the world. It'll probably be early next year, it's looking like. So at the time of recording in 2025, it'll be early 2026 that comes out. But it just goes to show you that the more that you continue to show up for your art, you just don't know what doors are going to open, because I certainly didn't when it came to that. So stay tuned. And next week, I'm doing a really bizarre episode, why bad art is good. But a little bit more detail, why bad art is good for your creative growth. We'll explore how imperfection, messiness, and inverted commas failed work is actually the foundation of creative progress, and why your best art starts with your worst. Whether you're working in the commercial industry, or you're an independent artist, or artist on the fringe, whatever it is that you do, so often your best work's going to start with your worst. And sometimes you don't even realize your best work because you don't have the bird's eye view of what you're creating. So really great episode, why bad art is good for your creative growth, next week. And friends, don't forget, you can book coaching with me if you need that extra support one-on-one at my website. And as always, I'm with you on the journey, friends. Until next time, bye for now. Thank you for tuning in to the Healthy, Wealthy, Wise Artist podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe so you'll never miss an inspiring conversation or actionable insight. You can read the show notes and learn more at larabiancapilcher.com. And be sure to share this episode with fellow artists who could use a little extra inspiration. Until next time, keep creating, stay audacious, and remember, your artistry matters.